Perhaps. Hello, Periscope. If I'm on Periscope, let's see. Hi, everybody. Let's see, Periscope. What's going on, Gregory? How are you? Hello, Tyree Leos. Hi. Happy Sunday to you too. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Hey, Lisa, how's it going? You are on Periscope, Mike. Cool. I have not been on I have not been anywhere in a while. I have not been on Periscope. I don't do Periscope live streams anymore. Like specifically Periscope. I have not gone on there. They'll be gone next the end of this month. Next month, soon. Hey G, how are you? It has been 1 year. There is no need to go back to the office. Well, I'll talk about that. What's going on, Sarah? Hey, Jay Harrison, how are you? Hi, Nancy. Hey, Lisa, thanks for the award. Nice to see you too, Nancy. Where are you going to be? I don't know. I'm on apps right now, and right now it's going to not my Facebook. I turned off Facebook, but it's going to my YouTube right now, Twitter, and Periscope. Those three. But I'm on apps right now. Hello from Greensboro. What's going on, Faye? Miss ZD. Hi. So what's happening, my friends, is that, my God, I can't believe I'm never in my life. I'm a journalist. I work at the LA Times, and I've been a journalist. That's been my career as a journalist. Worked for a bunch of different newspapers and so on, but now I'm at the LA Times. And in all my career, I've never actually worked from home for this long. I've worked from home before, but never for this stretch of time. So it's been quite interesting that it's going to be a year next week. It'll be a year next week that I work from home. I actually went back to the office a while ago, and my desk and the entire office actually was like a time capsule. It was like a total cutie lady. How are you? Mike, do you like haps? Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's all good. Hey, John, what's happening? And my desk was like a time capsule. The newspaper from that week that I left the office was sitting on the desk, and it was just talking about containing a spread of the virus. It was just starting. Containment. This is the newspaper that I left on my desk that week. Containment hopes fade as virus spreads. And this was just talking about the virus just kind of getting started when we were told to go home and go work from home. Hey, Vera, how are you? And we didn't know how long we were going to be out. Had no idea how long it would be out. Some people thought maybe a few months. And now it's been a full year since I've been working from home. Hey, Gina, how are you? Thank you for the award. You moved from Periscope to Haps, Ms. Z says. Cool. Oh, wow. Who wouldn't have thought a year later? Yeah, I did a broadcast my first day working from home. I did a broadcast on Periscope, and it went to Twitter, and it was like, it said journalist working from home. And that was the first day working from home. It seemed like less than a year, but it's been a year, guy. This pandemic has been around. This virus has been around a year now. Good afternoon, Nicole. How are you? And so it's gone fast, but 500,000 people in the U.S. at least have been killed in a year. Hey Tim, how are you? It's good to see you too. Uh, Half a million. I'm sorry. Yes, 500,000 people, more than 500,000 now, but 500,000 people in the U.S. alone have died of this virus that has sort of spread since it started a year ago, more than a year ago now. The pros and cons of working at home a whole year as such. One of the pros clearly is my commute. I no longer have to commute to work. So I get up in the mornings and I never stay in bed. I always get up. I know some people don't do this, but I always get up, take a shower, and get dressed. I always get dressed. And I usually get out of 99% of the time, I don't stay in bed to work in bed because that's kind of, I end up on the couch over here and sitting on the couch, working on the couch, on my sofa over here. So I get out of bed because I've been in bed all night. I want to get out of bed. That's why. That's one of the reasons. So I usually come over here and sit in the living room and work in the living room. So the commute, especially in Los Angeles, which is can be a crazy commute. It takes me in the mornings when I went into work super early. It wasn't that bad because it wasn't that much traffic. It was only maybe 25 minutes to work. Going out to near the airport, the El Segundo. That's where my office is at now. They moved from downtown. And then coming back, it would take longer because of traffic. It would take 40 to 45 minutes coming back downtown because usually at the time I was commuting, it was back home. There was a lot of traffic. Yep, that give you more energy. Exactly, getting out of bed. I don't know how much longer we're going to be out, but my company is saying we'll go back to the office in June. We'll see if that happens. So I can talk a little bit more about that. But that's one of the pros. Another pro is obviously I'm at home, the conveniences of home, my own bathroom, my lunch is here. I can eat at home. Don't have to worry about, oh, what am I going to go out to get lunch? What am I eating? What am I spending money on? I can cook, have lunch at home, make lunch at home. How much has traffic decreased generally at this point? Traffic has decreased depending, but there's still a lot of traffic in LA. People are still traveling. It's decreased some, but there's still traffic. I've noticed in Los Angeles. Some people are still commuting, especially after years of people have gone back to the office. But anyway, I'm sort of home and I can eat at home. I don't have to worry about where do I go to lunch, go spend money on lunch. I can prepare my own lunch and so on. And one of the, so that's the pro is being able to probably get up later because I don't have to commute. You have to balance your time. Yes, I'm going to address that. I don't have to commute and so on. So some of the cons that some of you guys are already mentioning are well, one of the cons mainly is that I don't get to see my colleagues face to face. We do Zoom meetings. We meet by Zoom daily by Zoom. Some days we miss, but mostly, no, out of the 5 days out of the week, we might Zoom a minimum of 3 times a week on Zoom, and you don't get to see your colleagues. I have not seen them in a year. Can you believe that? I have not seen my colleagues face to face in over a year. I see them on the computer. So that's one of the things. The other issue, the biggest issue I find working from home, I don't receive those dinners anymore. The other issues working from home is the communication, I think. typing, guys, you know how typing and trying to communicate with people via the computer is very different than communicating with someone in person. So there's a lot, I find there's a lot of miscommunication or things misinterpreted. You might say something that's kind of funny or innocent or mean something else, and it's taking another way. And so there's a lot of miscommunication, I find, trying to communicate typing by computer, because you don't have the benefit of your voice to, sometimes you might say something one way, and depending on your voice, the inflection of your voice, and so on, people know what you mean, right? Hey, British Spy, how are you? So people know what you mean the way you say it with your voice versus typing it. People read stuff and they read a lot into it, and they read the wrong thing into it. And then you end up where people get angry at you for and you're thinking, why is this person? So no, that's not what I meant. And you have to sort of like spend a lot of time typing and explaining yourself, communicating. We don't use video for calls, so haven't seen coworkers even via video in a year. Oh wow, Sarah. Yeah, we use video. We use Zoom. Hello, London, Corey. So I find there's a lot. So what I do before I send anything, I stop and I read it again and I read it again to make sure that it's not going to be misinterpreted, right? Fides wants to talk about the meals. I just didn't think there was enough variety in the meals, Fides. He's talking about some meals I was getting. There was not enough variety. Typing can get emotional, tense. Yes. So people there's a lot of time explaining yourself, or having people explain themselves. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? When someone is just saying something innocent or trying to give you some constructive, it's taking as criticism. On the computer, it feels like an attack. It feels like it's not constructive, but rather an attack. And so you have to, or you keep typing something and somebody does not respond right away, and it's important, and you get no response. It's like, where are they? Are they in the bathroom? Are they off somewhere? Are they asleep? You're not getting any response. Versus face to face, you see the person and you get immediate response face to face, right? So I find that's a big challenge, where I say something important like, what's happening with this, or what's happening with that, or where's the story, and I get no response for a while, none at all, or go a long time. So then you have to try to pick up the phone and reach someone, right? And sometimes that doesn't work. Read email 3 or 4 times before sending nowadays. Yes. I bet those prepared meals are expensive, especially over time. Yeah. So are all your interviews virtual? I don't do interviews, but we have reporters who do that, and they do a lot of that, obviously, by phone and virtual and so on. So yes, people are doing stuff. I'm an editor, so I'm editing story, but I'm still talking to people, reporters. Hey, Luis, how are you? Kia ora, kia ora. So there's a lot of miscommunication and a lot of hurt feelings, and a lot of people, you just wrote something innocent and people write back an attack, because they think you're being critical of them, or it didn't come out the right way, or you were careless, because sometimes you're just typing quickly. You got a bunch of things happening. You're typing, you just said it. You don't want to do a long type, so you type shorter, but it doesn't quite explain what you mean, right? It doesn't quite explain the whole thing. And so you have to kind of take up. So the computer, communicating on the computer, I'm talking about typing in Slack. We use the Slack. Takes a lot of time. I spend a lot of time typing. I know how that is as a reporter, because we got deadlines to go on by. Yes, exactly. Deadlines and so on. Exactly. Yeah, so I think not being able to communicate with someone face to face in the office, leads to a lot more miscommunication and hurt feelings, and people are under pressure, maybe because they're home with the kids and you know what I mean? There's other things going on at home. People are at home, so a lot of folks have the kids at home. They're not in school, or they're with a spouse or somebody else there, and so there's all those things going on in the background that they're dealing with. So they're working, but yet they're dealing with the people at home, right? Hey, Melanie, how are you? Um, Hello from Dumfries. How are you? So yeah, so there's a lot of that happens. So you spend so much time trying to not piss off somebody unnecessarily, you know. Uh, get a private comment. What's this private? Oh, I'm good, Melanie. Thank you, thank you. So there's that. Plus, still pandemic stress. Yes. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Um, Amazing Travel Tribe. Yes, the Travel Tribe is here. Yeah. And the other thing is clearly because of the pandemic, depending on where we are with the pandemic, we're restricted to stay home. You're in Scotland. Very good. Love Scotland. So we're restricted staying home. So people are at home a lot and they don't get out much, and people are already stressed. You know what I mean? People are already stressed because they don't get to go out. They're home and home all the time. I go for days and days at home without going out. We have offices for a reason. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But we so hey, dude, how are you? So there's a lot of stress. Even though you're at home, there's different kinds of stresses going on. So I think the big challenge in working from home is you don't get immediate response from people, which sometimes you need to have it, because as humans, we feel like if I ask you a question, you should answer me, and you're like waiting for an answer, waiting. And sometimes you can't move and do something without the answer to that question, right? You need the answer to proceed in whatever it is you need to do. And this person or persons are not answering you. And so it's like, that's one of the inconveniences. I'm proposing we are not allowed out yet. We are in lockdown in Scotland. Oh, okay. Um, Things are easing a little bit more here in California, but we've been here before, but we still have to be careful, getting out and so on. Jumped over to, oh, you jumped over to Haps. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's been that kind of a challenge, and so we are. My proposal, frankly, because we're discussing this, my company has a June. They're saying June. Let's go back. I don't know where we will be in June, but I don't know. We'll see. But my ideal situation a year into this would be to be able to work from home some days and some days go to the office. In other words, if I wanted to work from home 2, 3 times a week, it'll be nice to continue working from home 2, 3 times a week. And then maybe a couple of times a week, depending on my mood and what's happening, I go into the office. So I think it would be fantastic to have a combination of the two. Hey, Walter, how are you? We have the new Brazil variant going around now. Oh wow, yeah, it's I think it's here too. We have South African variant here. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think the perfect combination would be the option to work from home some days and some days go in the office. In other words, if one day I decide I woke up and I feel like, oh man, it's pouring rain, or I'm just not in the mood to commute this morning, I'm not feeling it, it'll be nice to be able to work from home 2 or 3 times a week, and then maybe the rest of the week go into the office. Is the app skipping, or is it skipping? I don't know. I can't tell. It looks fine. It looks fine over here for me. Yeah, hybrid would be fantastic, Sarah. I mean, for people's, I think from a people's employees' sanity and all that, you don't have to commute every day. And frankly, it would save the planet a little bit by keeping cars off the road. Sometimes I wake up and there's an accident and the traffic is just backed up, but you still know you got to get to the office, right? So on a day like that, I would say, oh, you know what? The 110 is a complete parking lot. Let's just stay home. My company is having people who can work from home, permanently work from home. Yeah, some companies are doing that. Some companies are doing that. My company does not want to do that. I know that for a fact. They don't want to do that. So I think the next best thing is a combination of the two. Yeah. I mean, even if my company said 100% you can work from home, I'd still want to go in the office every now and then to have face to face interaction with colleagues, or particular day where I felt that I needed to be in the office because it would be more efficient that day. And it would be nice to kind of do a combination of the two. Saves all the costs of overheads. Yeah. Now, that's a question I wanted to answer, Fides, because whether I'm productive at home or not, one of the downside of working from home, I say this is a downside, is that I work longer hours and more at home than I do in the office. I end up doing more work, working longer hours because you know you're just home and you just continue working even though it says, okay, I'm supposed to be done by 5, right, or 6, but I find myself still at 7, at 8, at 9, still on the computer doing stuff. And that's where you have to have that sort of, you have to sort of like think and sort of have those boundaries. Hello, Palma, how are you, Maria? you know the ironic thing, you would think you work less at home than in the office, but, and this is not just me, a lot of other folks do this, you end up working more at home than you do in the office, because in the office, 6 o'clock, you got to catch your bus, you got to commute, got to get home to the kid, got to, you're done, right, you get home. Yeah. At home, you just can extend the work into hours and hours and hours when you shouldn't be working. Hola, Maria, at 10:30 p.m. Yeah, you're still working. Yeah. Yes, time gets away from you. Exactly. Exactly. So you have to have the discipline to say, I'm shutting down the computer at 6 o'clock. I'm not getting back on the computer. This is my time. And I'm just going to watch TV. I'll spend time with the wife and kids, or play with my dog, or what, what I mean? Do the stuff for you rather than working, job related stuff, because those are hours you're not getting paid for, by the way. I mean, really, you're working for free. And if you think about it, all those hours, extra hours, unless your company's approving overtime, you end up giving those extra hours to companies that probably are worth millions and making millions of dollars, and you end up working for free. Hey, now I see. How are you? More time spent working. Yep. Also contributing is can't really go out. Yes, that's true. You can't go out. Yeah, exactly. So I have set, after like 6, 7 months of doing that, I have set boundaries. Although every now and then I still like, okay, today I need to do this, because I want to do something. But I set my boundaries, and I say, at this hour, when I'm done, I've been working more than 8 hours as it is already. Let's say 8 hours. That's it. Let somebody else handle it. you know, let somebody else do it. So that, I think that's one of the downsides. It's your time, exactly, exactly. But sometimes we we still do it. We just feel like, you know what, I'm home, I'm on the couch. Why not? It's going to take 5 minutes. But usually something doesn't take 5 minutes. You think it's going to take, listen, I've gone on, this has happened to me before. I've actually seen something on the news. And I said, oh no, we gotta get that story up. So I go back on the computer and I say to the person who is working, I say, hey, this story is breaking. Do we have it? No. Um, because I'm busy doing something else. And I said, you know what? I'll do it. So I'm not supposed to be working. So I'll go on and I'm typing and I'm posting this story. And then I think it's going to take me 5, 10 minutes, but it doesn't, because someone has a question about the story and somebody else wants to know if I'm going to update it. And then they want to know, you know, all this other stuff and on and on. I end up doing an hour, another hour. So it always happens. It always takes more than 5 minutes. Exactly. Can you all work it out so your work times are staggered and you're covering all the hours you need? Um, yeah, I mean, usually the way it works is that we have everybody has like shifts, I guess. So let's say I could work from a 9 to 5 shift, an 8 to whatever shift, at 6 a.m. to 2:30. So you have those shifts, and then people come in. So you have people staggered shifts. But again, sometimes if you're off, you still want to kind of like do something. Amazing, amazing how time consuming tasks are. Yes, they can take some time. Yeah, right. May depend on you beyond those 5 minutes. Exactly. So 5 minutes turns into 10, 15, 20, 25. Before you know it, you're still on the computer an hour when you should be relaxing. when you, and that's no good for you, by the way, because if you're working 15 hours a day, 12, 13, 15 hours a day, you're exhausted. You got to come on the next day and work. And those are long hours you're working. You're not really helping yourself, and you're not really helping others because you're exhausted, right? You're like wondering, why am I so tired? Well, it's because you've been working all these crazy hours, several days. The hours run away from you. So I think that's one of the disadvantages, is that you have to cut it off and say, I'm not going back onto the computer. And some people, and another disadvantage is that, although that's gone away a little bit, your bosses, the people who you work for, assume, hey, it's not that big of a deal. You're home, can you get on and do this? And they want you to work extra. And, because you don't have to, in the office, you can say, I got to catch my bus, I got to catch my train, I got to get going, and that's it. But at home, they figured, oh, you're at home. Can you get on and do this extra task that they want you to do? You need to get dinner. Oh, have a good dinner. Overwork is terrible for the person and also for the company. It is, because you're not at your best the next day and the next day, because you're not in the frame of mind. You're tired and you're not at your best. So it doesn't help anybody. You might think it is, but it's not. It's not helping anybody at all. So you have to be. So I find that I have to have that, because frankly, nobody's going to tell you. If you're still working at 10 p.m., nobody's telling you stop working. They're glad. Nobody criticize. Nobody's saying hey, you should cut off. They're happy that you're working. So you have to take it and say to yourself, I'm not going beyond certain hours. Yeah, they totally take it for granted, Sarah. Absolutely. And so you have to look out for you, I think. You have to look out for you, because, the CEO of the company, they only care if you're working, you're not doing your job. They only care if you're not doing your job, or But if you're doing your job and going beyond, go for it. Yeah. Self care is essential. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, we have to add the thing near and dearest to my heart, travel. Remember, we took vacations, we took holidays, we went away on trips. A lot of us aren't able to do that because of this pandemic. So, those trips, those vacations, those holidays were what kept you sane, where you can get away and do a nice trip and then come back to work. You can still take vacation, but you take vacation and you're at home. you know? So the whole sanity thing is gone. And what allowed you to get some sanity is gone because you're not getting away to some paradise or getting away to travel. You take vacation, you're on a week vacation, 2 week vacation, 2 weeks vacation. And where are you? At home. You know? Or you try to do a staycation, maybe drive somewhere if you can do that, but a lot of places are closed. Hey Kim, how are you? Good to see you. Or chatting with people at work. Yes, exactly. Chatting with people at work. It's all work, 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 work. And it's just draining. It really is, just all work and no play, you know what they say. And so it's just really draining. You get days off, you're at home, you know. So this pandemic over a year, it's really been insane. Yeah, or chatting with people at work, and then you don't get to see socialize. You don't get to see your friends, your family, at least not in person. Because you can't travel. They're cross country or whatever. You can get on a plane or lockdown, whatever. So you don't get. So the whole social aspect is gone, right? You don't get to socialize. My hope is you will be able to travel farther soon. Yes, I'm well, thank you. Please check your Instagram. I left you a message. You did? Okay. I was on Instagram this morning. I didn't see it. Okay, I'll check. Staycations don't work out nowadays. People know we're at home. Yeah, they do. I know. So, I mean, keep in mind, I have not seen most of my friends. I've seen not. Yeah, I haven't in a year. In a whole year, I haven't seen them. Hello, New York. Hey, Bella, how are you? New York City Archie, how are you? Yeah, we haven't, so the social aspect of it is gone. You know what I mean? To be completely happy and stay sane and all of that, we need all that. We need to get out. We need to travel. We need to socialize. We need to be able to hug again, kiss again. You know what I mean? All that stuff, shake hands again. All that stuff is gone as humans, and it stresses you. It's sort of like totally stresses you. Well, thank you. Busy. You're busy? Yeah, it's stressful. So anyway, that's been my whole year. Yes, it is. That's correct. Mike tends to drown. I mean, I can look now, but simple things, yeah. Going out in the park, exactly, or going. And then when you go out, when you do go out, you have to sort of start avoiding people. You're playing that 6 feet, put your mask on, 6 feet away, stay away. Don't touch this. It's just, wow, this pandemic has just been crazy. I'm one person, my life hasn't changed much. It hasn't? You don't go out? Do you go to work? I mean, go to the office, eat in a restaurant easily again. Yeah, that'd be nice. Museums are closed. I mean, it's just everything is closed. Even when you're trapped, when you think, okay, I can travel, I can go to this place or that place. If I jump in my car, the places you're going to are shut down. So you can't really get the full experience of travel because a lot of places are shut down. I can go pick a state and or a city, and the museums will be closed, the parks will be closed. Stuff is just closed. So you go there and you get half the experience because everything is closed. What would I do if I had no financial issues? What would I do if I had no financial issues? Well, I don't have any financial issues, but I would just, as I was doing before, traveling. I would travel. I mean, if I could travel right now, I would. Let's put it that way. My plan, and I talked about this before on the broadcast, my plan was in February because it's the best season, was to go to Central America and park myself there. Hey, Yassine, how are you? And my plan was to go to Central America for a couple of months and work from there. But then I looked into it and I was advised not to go to that country because coronavirus is out of control. So I can't go there. So my plan was to go to Panama, let's say, or Costa Rica and so on, and just work from there. And when I'm not working, I can show you guys live stream and show you the country and so on. But unfortunately, when I looked into it, they're not advising that I come down to the country because the country is even worse off than we are here. Panama, I mentioned Panama. Um, nope, I work in hospital. I stay with my hospital. Oh, you work in a hospital? Hospital friends, we get free food delivery every day. Oh yeah, essential workers working in the hospitals. I have a list of places I want to eat as soon as things open. My home restaurant will close then. Yeah, a lot of restaurants have shut down for good. We've lost a bunch of businesses, restaurants in particular. So when things get better, those restaurants won't be there, you know? Costa Rica is great, yeah. So that was my plan, but I couldn't even execute that plan because I would have been quarantined and I would have been going into a situation where it's worse than where I'm at. So can't go. So that's what I mean. You know, it's kind of weird. Um, Not weird, but it's just been an interesting whole year, a whole year. It turned bad there too. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of small businesses have been impacted. Big businesses too. They just announced like Fry's recently went out of business. Who else? It was a restaurant, Ruby's. I've scoped Ruby's. I was at Huntington Beach. No, it's not Hunt. Is it Huntington or Manhattan? Manhattan Beach. And at the end of the pier, there's a restaurant called Ruby's, and they just announced they're going out of business. Yeah, it's not safe, And again, to travel that far to a country that's locked down, or first of all, some won't even allow you in. Some countries are not allowing you to travel there, especially with the situation that's happening in America and the U.S. Some countries are you just can't go. They have a ban on traveling from the U.S. to that particular country, so you can't even go to some countries. Um, yeah, I don't think I had lunch at Ruby's, but anyway, Ruby's is on the pier, and they just announced their closing, and they've been iconic. They've been there for a while. Um, yeah, so I just thought, oh my God, it's been a whole year of this has been my office at home and confined, but not confined like prison because I can still go out. I do have a balcony, but it's just been a lot. We've given up a lot. A lot of interactions are gone. So that's one of the challenges. And then, of course, we need the internet to work from here. If your internet is slow, as has been the case with some of my colleagues, and we're communicating by Zoom, and their internet is cutting in and out. It's very difficult communicating with someone who has slower internet. So when you try to do those Zoom meetings and talk, and they're going, and they're cutting out, it's very frustrating to hold a meeting. Not safe nor easy to travel these days. Yeah. Yeah, so many business are forever shuttered now. Yep, we've lost a few of them. Even Fry's. Yeah, Fry's just went out of business. They just announced last week, I think it was. What's going on, Retta? I thought your scene is here. I thought your brother was here. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Costa Rica before. Tech issues, yeah, a lot of you're having tech issues. Trying to communicate with computer, or you can't sign on. That's happened to me, where I'm trying to sign on to the Zoom using the link, and I'm not getting on, and yeah. So technical issues, you know. Randy Horton went to his Philippines. The paperwork, quarantine, and cost was horrible. He had to see his family. Yeah, you have to pay an extra cost. I mean, or confine. It's challenging traveling. Everything's good, Retta. I hope everything's good with you. Yeah, it's challenging. It's really been challenging. So sometimes it's not even worth it because of the frustration. I mean, when I travel and I went by car around the country, it was good, but I was having to deal with places not fully open, for example. Some places where some shops, some businesses, some places were shut down. So kind of had to deal with that. Not to mention having to be super, super, super careful, not wanting to catch COVID. The worst thing that could happen, one of the worst things, is catching COVID while you're traveling over in. You're not at home. You're on the road traveling, and then you get COVID. That would have been horrible. Can everybody see my screen? Can everyone hear me? Yeah. So true. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? It looks like her connection cut out. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now? um, God, I was gonna take one, but then I had 4 days off this past week, but I've been busy doing other things. But I don't know. I've been looking at the country and see how things are going. I want to take a road trip where I go somewhere where stuff is reopened, and where I can, if I'm going to go there, I want to see certain things. I want to make sure I can get to them. So it's been hard, Sarah. So that's a hard question. I don't know yet. Um, Things are supposedly getting better in the country where the numbers are going down and things are starting to reopen, and so we'll see if that's maintained, because we've been here before where things are kind of going down, the number of people infected and so on, and then we reopen, and then boom, we had a second wave. So but with the I just kind of, am I now talking about technical trouble? My broadcast looked like it died, but then it came back. I think I'm back. Maybe not. Maybe not. Am I on? Is this thing on? Let's see Periscope here. Oops. Am I back? You came back. Okay. What's up? What's up? Hey, Jose. Hello. We're back in Queens. I'm back. Yeah, just kind of flicked on and on. As soon as I started talking about technical issues, I had technical issues. And that strange. uh, Back on YouTube. Awesome. What's up, Dawn? Just like work. Yeah. And my computer, my internet's supposed to be like the fastest, like AT&T fast speed, but sometimes it happens. I jinxed it. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, I can't get on here. So, so that's been my year, guys. And as I said, I went back into the office a while ago. They didn't want to let me in, but they finally did. And there was nobody in the office. And it was just as people left it, where people like I had left some coffee, instant coffee, and I don't know what happened to it, but it was all clumped up. I threw it out, but it was like the time stood still in the office. Back to technical issues for my job, Monday to Friday, remote assistance. Great to see you too, Dawn. Yeah, it was like wherever people left stuff on their desks, it was there. And what was sitting on my desk was the newspaper from that day. The newspaper from the day I left the office. It was all yellowed and sitting there, and it was like, this is the actual newspaper from the day I left the office. It was sitting on my desk, so I took it. From the last time I was in the office. It was so fast. Yeah, sometimes I have to check the speed of my internet because sometimes they say, hey, claim you're getting the fastest. Then you check the speed. It's like, no, I'm not. I have to call AT&T once about that. Yeah, yeah, they kicked us out mid-work. I mean, well, no, I think my day was done, and they say, don't come in the office tomorrow until further notice. Take everything. You take your laptop. I have a laptop, work laptop. I don't use it. Don't. I have a work laptop. I use my own laptop, but I have a work laptop that I can use. They just said, don't come back tomorrow, or don't come back until further notice. The headlines were mainly because it was the start of the pandemic. The headline was Containment Hopes Fade as Virus Spreads. So this was early in the pandemic, it was spreading. And as you can see, they still had the marathon. It was just starting the pandemic. And this was the LA Marathon. So they still kind of went ahead, before aiming the camera, they still kind of went ahead. Oops, I don't know where to aim the camera. They still went ahead and held the LA Marathon, for example. Today they wouldn't do that. Bandwidth can slow when others use the same node. Yeah, but I guess so, yeah. But if I'm paying for high speed, I should hope I'm getting what I'm paying for, the fastest speed, as AT&T likes to say. If I'm paying for the fastest speed, I would hope that I'm still getting. Every now and then I have to sort of reboot it to kind of like get the fastest speed. Yeah, with sled hockey spirits making a statements, LeBron James and the Lakers earned bragging rights in the Battle of Los Angeles. Women protest in Mexico, an epicenter of attention, talking about the quarantine. I mean, no, the virus. That's kind of what the headlines were. Nursing home is a national focal point. This was early on when they thought, where is it coming from? And they said nursing homes is where they first started to identify the virus. That was like one of the first places the virus showed up was in the nursing home. So they said that the focus of attention is like investigating where the virus is was nursing homes. Yeah, in Washington State, by the way. Time capsule newspaper. Yeah, totally. I kept it. Yes, reboot the modem every 2 to 3 days. Yeah, when I reboot, I get the speed comes. I can tell when it's slow because pages are not loading. It's like fast enough. They're like slow to load, and I'm like, why is it loading so slow? Yeah, Washington State nursing homes there. We are definitely not getting the same node discount. Yeah. So yeah, man. Anyway, here we are, guys. Any questions you guys have for me? I have not been on in a while. I've just been um, busy taking care of some work and then some long days, given the news, and then I've got some stuff that I've neglected at home. The irony is that I'm at home, and yet when I'm done with work, I don't do stuff that I should be doing at home, like cleaning, dusting. You just put stuff off, because you're just like, I'm at home, I'm done with work, let's lay back and do nothing. That's what I mean, discipline. You have to sort of like try to maintain some discipline of work and then cut off work. And now this time it's for me and the things that I need to do for me, right? For myself. That's what I mean, the discipline. There's a 30-second delay. Yeah, I know that delay in HAPS is still there. I don't know. I think my next broadcast, I'm gonna do just a Twitter only broadcast, guys, so you're aware, and see how that works. If there's a delay or not, but yeah, HAPS has I noticed that there's a delay in the comments, the reaction. Yes, easier to procrastinate house life stuff. Yeah, exactly. Because we put them off. The urge is to relax when home. Yeah, exactly. When I'm done with work, which I have to do, all I want to do is do no more work. And that includes work around the house. I just want to like, I'm going to put the TV on, I'm going to put Netflix on, and I'm going to watch something goofy. I'm going to watch a movie. You know, last night I watched a movie that was so intense. Woo! Netflix. I Care a Lot. Has anybody seen that movie? I Care a Lot. Oh my God, that was crazy. It's nominated for Golden Globe, I believe. It's one of the movies nominated. It's called I Care a Lot. Yeah, you need to stop work at 5, then chill out, chores and scope. Chores and scope. Might win, or if you all go back in June, would it be clean Senate? That's the question. clean or sanitize. That's the question. The problem is they've gone to this open concept. Remember the days offices had like cubicles, you had separation. So now the trend has been to have this big old open space, and that's where we are. But the problem is you got a person sitting so close to you. If the guy next to me sneezes, I'm gonna catch a cold, right? So you don't have the maybe the false sense of security. I don't know, but at least there was some separation with your cubicle. Cubicles are gone. Yeah. But they claim, yeah, they'll have to do all that. If you go to the office now, which I did, I went back, they take your temperature. So they do take your temperature and all that. They do that sort of thing, but still. Um, I was never a proponent of the open plan unless you have spacing between you and the other folks, because at least the cubicles, offices gave you a little bit sense of protection, from your colleague sneezing, you know, and you're just sitting next to them, or they're in front of you. You're sitting here and they're sitting facing you, and they sneeze, and you look up like, oh God, you know. Yeah, it's called a Care a Lot. You should check it out. My job plans for fall 2021 opening, but they're big physical logistics to plan. Yeah. Just like open concept offices. The plastic sheet dividers. Yeah, yeah. Or somebody coughs. Somebody coughs and you're going, somebody cough. Like, I had not been down to Starbucks in a while, but I remember I was standing in a line at Starbucks. It was open. And the guy behind me started coughing. And you could tell someone looked around. I know everybody had the same thing in mind. Does he have COVID? And some people started adjusting their mask. It's so crazy. Yeah, it could be nothing more than allergies, but now everybody's gonna think, "Oh my God, COVID." And people didn't think that for the flu. Well, the flu too, but oh, I don't want to catch a cold. At the grocery store. Wow. Yeah, so I don't know. It's let's put it this way. Interesting times we live in. Interesting times. These are interesting times for sure. I want it behind us. I want it to go away. Nordane, how are you? Oh, it's Oxus. Yeah, I want it to go away. I wish all of this is going to be behind us someday. No coughing, damn you. Stop coughing. Hey, you can't help it, man. Body says, I need to cough. You cough. Or sneeze or anything like that. I saw one guy, this was a long time, it was early in the pandemic. I saw one guy wanted to sneeze and he was wearing a mask. He took his mask off to sneeze. And I'm thinking, okay, I understand he didn't want to sneeze into his mask, but he just sneezed into everybody, I know he didn't want to sneeze. He's got the mask on, and then he's like, and then he wants to sneeze. He did this, took the mask off, achoo, to sneeze. And I'm like, you just spread your germs all over the place. Probably should be better to sneeze in your own mask, or at least do this. If you're going to sneeze, at least do this. Take the mask off, do this. Right? Sneeze into your, like this. Achoo. Cover up, in other words. Cover up. Or your hands. I don't know. But cover up. Don't spread everything with people around you. 22 feet. 22 feet. Oh, gosh. Instead of 6 feet, 22 feet. Yeah, anyway. So, guys, I'm going to go back to my chores. I do have some, I've like saved a bunch of documents and stuff, and it's time to get rid of them. So I'm going to go through and do a little shredding thing, shredding of documents. Nothing illegal. You know, you have to save documents after a while. And I have this bucket of stuff, of documents. This is my filing system, my crazy filing system. And so, and it's just sitting in a closet there. And I said, you know what? I need to go through that stuff. I bought a paper shredder. So I'm going to go through them and get rid of stuff I need to get through and keep stuff I need to keep. So it's one of those chore things you got to do, right? That you put off. One of those things I put off that it was not urgent, but it's time to do it. So I'm going to try to not watch TV because that slows me down, but play some music while I'm doing that. Your papers to shred. Yeah, I don't want to throw them out. I don't want to throw out documents that are sensitive information on it, like bank statements and credit card statements and that sort of thing. So, you too, cutie lady. Sarah had asked me that. I don't know. I don't know yet when my next road trip is. Again, I'm looking at what's happening in the world. What's happening in the country. I wanted to go to Arizona, for example. I wanted to go to Sedona, Arizona. That was the trip I was planning. And then I looked at the COVID situation in Arizona. It was worse than it was in Los Angeles. So I decided not to go. Hello, Freeberg. Hey, JL, how are you? What's going on? So I put off Arizona because Arizona was in bad situation. Great seeing you too, Vera. So it all depends on, I'm looking at the situation in the country. I would love to take a trip across country again and hit some different spots I didn't. So if I took a trip, it would probably be back to the East Coast or to the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. That's what I would do. Hey, thanks for the super heart. Oh, super heart on Haps. Right. Do not place those types of documents in the trash. Yeah. You don't place credit card information in the trash. Yeah. So I'm going to shred them. So I would want to go. I would go probably in the Northwest, but this time of year is not so good yet. It's still the rainy, cold seasons. And the passes up. The mountain passes are still, some of them are still snowed under and all that. So, my next trip will be Northwest. I'd love to go up to Canada, but Canada, I don't think they're allowing us in. Good to see you too, JL. I don't think Canada is allowing us, Americans, to go in yet. It keeps changing, but anyway. So I'd love to go into Canada, like go to Vancouver and show you guys Vancouver, British Columbia, and so on, but so I've been looking to see how this COVID situation is going and who's opening, who's reopening, who's still in dire straits, that sort of thing. So thanks for the super hearts there, Nikki. So we're praying that the COVID situation will improve where we can start traveling again. That's basically what it comes down to. So I don't know when my next road trip is. I would love to not do a road trip and do an actual across the ocean trip, across to another country trip. I think all of Canada, Manitoba is part of Canada. I think Canada, I have not checked recently, but they were in fact, Canadians were saying Americans. Canadians were like, Americans, They were accusing us of bringing COVID. Stay home. Canadians were saying stay home. The Canadians were rebelling against us. They love us to come up and spend our money, but this time around they were saying, you're like swimming in COVID, America. Stay home. Don't come to Canada. Yeah, I'd love to do a Pacific Northwest trip. I would have to, if I did it now, I'd have to do mostly freeway because of this time of year. The snow, the beautiful scenic routes are snowed down there. Gets a lot of snow. The mountain passes. Yep, Canadians were like, we're not having it. You're just screwing us up. We're doing the right thing, and you're not. So anyway, that's a long way to answer your question. Is like, I don't know. Don't know yet. I just want to do one that's worth it, where things are open. Okay. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to go now. I just wanted to reconnect. I'm going to try. I have not done it yet since Periscope is sort of going away in a month now. The end of next month. Next month is Monday. Monday, March 1st is Monday, right? Yeah. So Periscope, it's countdown at Periscope. Periscope goes out of business, shuts down March 31st, I think. So yeah, but I want to do a full Twitter to see how that works out. Are you all on Twitter, by the way? Is everybody on Twitter? Everybody here on Twitter? If you're on Twitter, say yes. If not, say no. I'm just curious if I do a full just Twitter broadcast, how many people are on Twitter? Just Twitter. Everybody on Twitter? Yes, no? Periscope will retire on March 31st, yeah. I'll wait because I know there's a delay. So Jose is on Twitter? Okay. Just make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's Mike Tends to Travel on Twitter. Forgot your password. Walter is everywhere. You're on Snapchat, Walter? March is on Wednesday. Periscope will be gone. Yes. March is Wednesday. Okay, I got my calendar wrong. It's a calendar here. No, March 1st is a Monday. March 1st is a Monday, my friends. So today is the 28th, right? Today is the 28th. And February has 28 days, right? So today's the last day in February. And then tomorrow is March 1st. That's what my calendar tells me. Tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is March 1st. Yep, only 28 days in February. Yeah, I have Snapchat too. I've never used it. Yeah, today's the last day of February. Tomorrow is officially Women's History Month, the month of March. Spring is approaching indeed. Spring again. March 31st, I meant to see is one. Oh, March 31st is a Wednesday. Yeah. Yep. Gosh, I don't know if I should go on Periscope and do a last broadcast on March 30th. There's gonna be a lot of farewell broadcasts on Periscope on the last day for sure. A lot of broadcasts. So glad you went live today. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay. All right, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Hey, Jane, I'm just shutting down here. Good to see you, Jane. Hello from New York. Jane. Bye bye. Peace out, everybody. Let me see. End broadcast. Here we go. End broadcast. Peace.